What would it mean to the soul of this storied franchise if the winds of change blow through Hollis Hall once more? Are we staring down the barrel of a monumental shift that could obliterate what we know about the Bears? Strap in, Bears fans, because the whispers coming out of our beloved Chicago suggest we might be on the brink of a seismic shift that could redefine our future as a franchise. Hit that like button, subscribe for each heart-racing update, and drop your thoughts below. Could Ryan Poles be on the verge of a transformative exit as whispers swirl about his future in the Windy City? The air is thick with speculation. Friends, inside sources have been buzzing like bees in a hive, and the rumors are dangerously intriguing. Could Ryan Poles, the architect of our current rebuilding project, find himself on the chopping block after just a short tenure? The crux of it all lies within the franchise's internal turmoil. Battles not just on the field, but within the walls of Hollis Hall itself. As Poles' controversial strategies come under fire and his moves scrutinize every trade, draft pick, and firing magnified in the stark light of the Chicago media machine, the question looms: has Ryan Poles already signed his own departure papers? Picture this. Poles came to us like a beacon of hope, wielding the power of the #1 overall pick, and in his wake, he's traded for a dazzling promise, the chance to draft Caleb Williams, the heir apparent to our quarterback dreams. But every move carries weight and bears the weight of expectation. The tenure has been a roller coaster, with highs that make your heart soar. Remember the giddy thrill when we landed Ben Johnson, hailed as the genius coach who could orchestrate a new era, and lows that gut you like the closest loss in a heartbreaking playoff run. What if it all comes crashing down? What if this rumored transition isn't just speculation? The fact that Poles and Johnson have been locked in step, seemingly driving toward a brighter future with a powerhouse quarterback at the helm. What does it mean if that partnership is suddenly ripped apart? Imagine the echoes of the ghosts of past Bears legends, Peyton, Urlacher, even the electrifying Hester, wondering if we ever escaped the shadow of mediocrity. We have been thirsty for greatness, starving for that elusive championship run, each year pulling hope from a well that feels drier than Lake Michigan in July. Can we face the reality that another ill-fated choice at the helm might be what seals our fate? That the whispers aren't just idle chatter but a prelude to the unthinkable? The stakes couldn't be higher. If Poles goes, who's next? And what vision for our future do they bring? Will they forcefully rip down what's been built, or inject fresh blood into a system yearning for life? The potential for soaring success hangs in the balance alongside the risk of an endless spiral back into the dark recesses of despair that we thought were long behind us. Are we about to experience another endless cycle of disappointment, endless management changes, unresolved quarterback questions, or worse yet, a return to the tumult that came before? Picture a world where Caleb Williams might find himself without the right captain steering the ship during his critical years, leading us deeper into the abyss or propelling us skyward toward glory. With the 2025 season lurking in the distance, we all want to know if this will finally be our year. Will the Bears rise from the ashes or be mired in chaos once again? The air thickens with tension, and the specters of yesteryear loom large. Bears fans, what's your gut feeling? Is the season of hope upon us, or are we just another step closer to the familiar agony of being a Bears fan? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the clock's ticking and the stakes are unimaginably high. Will we stand united as we face the unknown, or buckle under the weight of what may come? Where will Ryan Poles lead us next? Stay tuned, because part 2 is coming with answers we all need to hear before we can bear down once again. Bears fans, it's time to rally like it's the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship, and the stadium is electric with the fears and dreams of generations. In these moments, we bear the weight of every instant that tested our resolve. 2010, when we thought Jay Cutler was our savior, but then the great collapse laid us bare. 2018, when a double doink shattered our hopes into a million pieces. Every year we endured this excruciating cycle of hope and despair, believing that the darkness can vanish with one play. But here we are, teetering on the precipice again, and today it feels different, yet hauntingly familiar. Something's brewing inside Hollis Hall that could either ignite a new era or plunge us back into despair. Now, imagine if every phantom doubt we've harbored manifests into the locker room like a malicious spirit, seeping into the minds of those. Young stars Justin Fields, your cannon of an arm could take us to glory, but how are you gripped under the pressure? What if the whispers in the halls have reached your ears, and the weight of our past collapses upon your shoulders? The last thing a fan wants to hear is murmurs of a front office retreating into safe decisions, burying their heads in the sand while our rivals watch with glee. There's nothing more invigorating for the Packers, Lions, and Vikings than our turmoil. Our storied history echoes through the bleakness. Remember Mike Singletary, a warrior who inspired a defense with the ferocity and passion we can only dream of recapturing in today's game. What would he think if he saw our offensive line, our so-called protectors, cracking under pressure like glass against the full glare of an October sun? Or consider Brian Urlacher, who made unstoppable plays out of sheer will. Where's that? Fired today? I can hear the echoes of fans from 1985, the sweet sound of victory in the Super Bowl that seems like a distant memory compared to the agony we've endured since. The mark left by the 2016 reaching back to the big dance. That fleeting chance we had to reclaim glory against the Colts. It taunts us still. Fast forward to 2010. How could we let that moment slip through our fingers? Everything teetered on the edge of glory until we let it slip, like sand through an hourglass. It feels like deja vu watching the same mistakes play out in front of you year after year, and those scars are still fresh for us, the faithful fanatics. You can feel the doubt creeping in like lake wind off Soldier Field in December, chilly and biting, mocking us with its relentless chill, reminding us of each moment wasted, highlighting our phobias, the fear of every game ending with defeat, the sickening dread of a collapse right when we thought faith would pay off. And here, the choices made today shape tomorrow's legacy. With midst of all this turmoil, is this the dawn of a new beginning, or are we barreling toward a new spiral, shackled tirelessly by the weight of unmet expectations? What if I told you each play could shift the tides of history, but every screw-up could mean our rivals laughing into the night at our misfortunes? The climax goes beyond the scoreboard. It's about bearing the legacy of our heroes. Does our current team even understand the magnitude of putting on the blue and orange? What would happen to the hopes of this city if Fields took that field filled with uncertainty mirrored in the seats, fans eyeing him possessively, gripping the edges of their beer cups, hearts racing with every throw, every misstep? Will the organization finally recognize that we're not just pawns in some media-driven narrative? Imagine the shot heard around the world if the Bears rise from their slumber this season, turning frigid cynicism into roaring belief. Or what if? What? If this is just another recycled nightmare, a prelude to sorrow where we witness the same old tale, a resurgence followed by a gut-wrenching collapse? Brace yourselves, my fellow Bears fans, because that relentless weight of potential glory is both an intoxicating brew and a bitter poison. Can we bear the weight of hopeful hearts once more? Will we rise, or will we simply fall again? In this fog of uncertainty, one question looms wider than the lake itself. Are we the architects of our own demise, or will history finally smile upon us? Can we trust that this time, when the dust settles, the echoes of our past won't drown out the sound of our future?